Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make a beef curry. This is a lovely dish and really full of flavour. You need to think about it a little bit beforehand, but once it's all in the pan, it does it all for itself. So let's begin. To start with, we're going to make a marinade. In this bowl, I have 300 grams of Greek yogurt, natural Greek yogurt. And all I'm going to do is add some spices and some other bits and pieces. This is minced ginger paste. It's always worth having stuff like this in the fridge because if you haven't got any fresh ginger, you can always get some of this out. And you need 1 tablespoon of this. About a tablespoon. This is pre-prepared minced garlic. Again, it's good to have it handy in the fridge. And this is again another tablespoon. Now for the spices, we have 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of ground coriander. This is half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Be careful with this, if you get it on your clothes it will stain. It's supposed to be very healthy as well. And these are just black mustard seeds, and this is a teaspoon as well. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon. You can adjust the seasoning at the end. The last thing to go in is the meat. I'm just going to give this a stir around to get it all combined. It smells absolutely wonderful. Here I have 800 grams of stewing beef, and that is going to go in here as well. Open it up. Pour that in. There we go. You could use any red meat. If you wanted to use lamb, use lamb. It's up to you. Try it with what you fancy, because the flavours are fantastic in this and it goes well with any red meat. I'm just going to wash my hands. Now that the meat is in here, I'm just going to give it a good old stir around. You want to get all the meat coated in this lovely yoghurt. And that's all that's left to do now is to cover it and put it in the fridge. Now I normally put mine in overnight, so I prep it the next day, but if you've only got a few hours, do it 3 hours in advance. It is best to marinate it, but you don't have to leave it all night. I do, but if you haven't got time, a couple of hours, 3 hours, that'll be enough. Put that in the fridge. Now I've actually done my blue Peter moment, and I did some of the meat yesterday, so I have some ready prepared. I've always wanted to say that. Here's what I made yesterday or earlier. I have in my pan some oil, and I am just going to put in this is 1 chopped onion. In here I have a chopped red chilli and a chopped green chilli. Now if you don't want it too spicy and you don't like really hot food, I quite like a bit of spice, put the whole chilli in and stab it with a knife so that you get some of the flavour from the chillies, and then you can take them out at the end, but we're going to have the whole chillies chopped in. I'm going to give this a stir, and I'm going to cook these until they've softened. It's like the start of any dish. The onions have all softened now, so all that's left to do is to add my marinated beef. Look at it. It sort of goes a slightly pink colour because the yoghurt sort of helps cook the meat because it's got an acid in it and it tenderises it, so it's very good if you've got a cheap cut. Here goes, that goes in. Pull the marinade out. going to stir it round. I'm just going to bring it up to a simmer, and once it's come up to the simmer, then I will turn it right down and put the lid on, and then I'm just going to let it cook on a very low heat for 2 hours. That's lovely. Turn it down. I would recommend that you keep checking on it, because you might need to add a little water. You can just add a bit of water from the kettle just to stop it drying up, but just keep an eye on it. Other than that, you don't have to do anything now for 2 hours. The curry has now been cooking for 2 hours and it smells gorgeous. So now we're on to the final bit. I've got 2 teaspoons of corn flour in this bowl, and I'm just gradually adding some double cream to it. I'm going to keep doing that to slacken it off before it goes into the curry. It can go a bit lumpy, but keep adding the cream and keep stirring and it'll come to a smooth paste eventually. Now you've got a smooth paste, pour the cream mixture into the curry and give it a good stir. The reason I put the corn flour into the cold cream is because if you put the corn flour directly into the dinner, you'll just get stodgy, horrible lumps. Give it a good stir to combine, and it just gives it a gorgeous, rich flavour and really smooth. And cream just adds something special to this dinner. This is the last spice to go in. It's called Garam Masala, which is a sort of spice mix, and most Indian families have their own version. You can get this in any supermarket, but it just gives a little bit of a kick to this curry right at the end. This is looking absolutely delicious now. It could just do with a little bit of colour. The dinner is almost ready to be served, and I'm just going to do a nice garnish of coriander. I love coriander, and this is fresh that I've managed to get. And I've got this lovely little chopping thing here, which makes it quite fun to chop. I know that some people don't like coriander, so if you want to add some colour, why don't you try spinach instead and add a few chopped tomatoes? I've done this in the past and it really does make a totally different meal. All that coriander is going down to quite a small pile now, and it's all going to go in with the curry. I'm sure a chef would be able to do this really spectacularly with a knife, but I'm not a chef. And this is about as well as I can do it. There we go. That's all that done, and we'll just pop it in the dinner. Oops. That looks absolutely gorgeous. I think we're going to really enjoy this for dinner tonight. Let's have a taste to see whether the seasoning needs checking. Let's get a bit of meat. The meat is so soft. That's where I burn my mouth. Oh, that is lovely. It's not a really spicy curry. It's lovely, and the cream just enhances it. We're going to really enjoy this tonight. We're just going to eat it with some boiled rice, and I've got some onion barges that I cooked earlier, so that's what we're going to have for our dinner tonight. I hope you're going to have a go at this. If you want the recipe, it's just down at the bottom in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification button, and I'll see you all again next time. Thank you for watching. Yeah? Are you doing the editing? You're so good, aren't you? Everybody thinks it's Robert, but it's you, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah, you're going to look at the camera?
Hello.
Look over there. Look.
No, she's not going to. The lighting in here is terrible, but the dog is helping edit. And doing all the voiceovers. We add all the barks in afterwards.